I reorganized the pantry last weekend. Found a jar from 3 years ago still open. Good enough, still technically edible, but not quite what it was when we opened it. I put it back on the shelf because throwing it out meant deciding something. And I've been doing the same inventory on us, quietly without a clipboard, just noting the things that are still technically good, the things that have been open too long, the things that taste different than they did. And whether different means bad or just different now. Shelf life, everything has one. I know that the question is whether you check the date or just use it. Keep using it until something makes you stop or be deliberate about what you still want on the shelf. Shelf life, some things between us are still exactly right. Some things I've been using past the day without taste. And I'm doing the inventory now, figuring out what to keep and what I've already lost to time. The thing we had for big conversations, I checked it last month, still there, but it's separated, needs to be stirred. The thing we had for ordinary Tuesdays, that's fine actually, still fresh, still reliable, still worth having. The thing we had for being fully honest, I looked, I think it expired quietly sometime last year. And I'm not throwing anything out yet, I'm just doing what the pantry requires eventually. The honest look at was still what it was, and what's been on the shelf long enough that keeping it is more about not wanting to acknowledge what happened to it. Shelf life, everything has one. I know that the question is whether you check the date or just use it. Keep using it until something makes you stop or be deliberate about what you still want on the shelf. Shelf life, some things between us are still exactly right. Some things I've been using past the date without taste. And I'm doing the inventory now, figuring out what to keep and what I've already lost to time. The honest thing expired, I said that. I wanna get it back, I wanna make a fresh batch. I want the version of us that talks about the shelf instead of just reaching for things and hoping. I wanna know what's actually good between us and choose it with the eyes open instead of using what's there, because it's easier than looking at the date. Shelf life, checking the date. Shelf life, it's still good. I wrote you something on a Thursday in November. 3 paragraphs, everything in the right order. Read it twice, changed 2 words, read it again, and saved it with no subject line in the folder where things go when I decide there's too much to actually say. And the folder has been filling since the spring, a whole correspondence that never left the draft. Everything I should have said in real time, composed carefully and withheld carefully. The most honest writing I've ever done, addressed to someone who will never read it. The draft, I live there when I can't live here. In the version of the conversation I write but don't send, full sentences, real feelings, actual things, safe in the folder where they can't do any damage. The draft, I know every word I've held back, I could recite the unsent correspondence by heart. I just can't figure out how to move it from the folder into your hands. The longest one was 14 sentences about what I need from you that I haven't asked for. I wrote it at 2 a.m., reread it at 7. The decided by 8 it was too much information. Filed it, went to work, made the coffee the usual way. Saw you that evening and said fine, quiet week. And the drafts aren't complaints, I wanna say that they're not resentment filed in paragraphs. They're just the things I feel most precisely, that I can't find a way to say without first making them safe enough. And safe enough keeps requiring another draft. The draft I live there when I can't live here. And the version of the conversation I write but don't send. Full sentences, real feelings, actual things. Safe in the folder where they can't do any damage. The draft, I know every word I've held back. I could recite the unsent correspondence by heart. I just can't figure out how to move it from the folder into your hands. Here, something from the unsent folder. I miss you in a way that's specific to you. I miss being received by you completely. I miss the version of us where the folder was empty, because everything went directly to you without needing to be made safe first. The draft, unsent correspondence. The draft, too much to say. There was no break, I want to say that clearly. No event, no argument, no precipitating thing. Just the accumulation of ordinary pressure. The way water shapes stone invisibly, continuously, until one day the stone looks different, and you can't point to the moment the shaping started. And I'm not the same shape I was in 2020. Neither are you, neither is what's between us. We've all been worn down in the specific ways that years of pressure where things not broken, reshaped into something that fits the pressure differently. Erosion, that's what I've been going through. Not a crack, not a fraction, not a clean break. Just the patient wearing of the years, reshaping me into something smaller or something more specific. I can't tell which. Erosion, I look at us from far enough back, and I can see the shape we used to be, and how the years of weather changed the outline into something that fits the new geography. Some of what eroded needed to go. The hard edges I came in with the brittle certainties. The years were right to wear those down. I'm not mourning everything that left, I'm just noticing that some of what eroded was the shape I needed to keep. And erosion isn't reversible, I know the signs. You don't restore a stone to its pre-water shape. You work with what the water made. You figure out the new landscape and find out whether what's left still serves the purpose of the original. Erosion, that's what I've been going through. Not a crack, not a fraction, not a clean break. Just the patient wearing of the years, reshaping me into something smaller or something more specific. I can't tell which. Erosion, I look at us from far enough back, and I can see the shape we used to be, and how the years of weather changed the outline into something that fits the new geography. What's left after erosion is real. It's not less real for being smaller. What's left is what survived the wearing, the specific hardness that the water couldn't take. I'm trying to figure out if what's left between us is the core that endures, or just the part that was wasn't soft enough to be worn away. Erosion, deep erosion, patient wearing of the erosion. What's left is real. We do the coffee every morning still. The specific order, the specific mark, the same counter. All the ritual of it intact and practiced. I hand you yours, you wrap both hands around it. And something in me knows this is the form of us. Without the thing that used to make the form worth having. And decaf isn't the less of coffee. I wanna say that it has the warmth, it has the smell. The cup, you couldn't tell it from the outside. You'd have to drink it to know something was different. You'd have to feel the absence of a thing that used to move through you afterward. Decaf, we went decaf, somewhere in the middle. All the warmth, all the ritual, all the mornings. Without the current that used to run through it, the kick that used to make the morning mean something. Decaf, I do the whole thing every day. The mug, the order, the counter, your name. I just don't feel it move through me anymore, the way it moved through me when we were full strength. Try to remember last Saturday when the last full strength morning was something before the summer. Maybe March when the coffee was the coffee and I could feel it. I've been trying to track backward to where the switch was, but decaf doesn't have a switch, it just becomes. And I'm not giving up the ritual. The ritual is real. There's love in the specific mug, the specific order. There's love in the doing it every morning anyway. I just want the version that moves me again, the version I used to feel from the first cup, before everything went through the second process. Decaf, we went decaf, somewhere in the middle. All the warmth, all the ritual, all the mornings. Without the current that used to run through it, the kick that used to make the morning mean something. Decaf, I do the whole thing every day. The mug, the order, the counter, your name. I just don't feel it move through me anymore, the way it moved through me when we were full strength. I want the full strength version back, not a different coffee, this coffee, full strength. I want the morning to move through me the way it did when you handed me the mug. Was enough to make the whole day feel like it has somewhere to go. Decaf, all the phone, no curtain. Decaf, decaf. Want the full strength back. Someone turned you up for a day last October. You were away and the apartment was just apartment, and I noticed. That's what I'm trying to tell you. In the silence I felt the shape of what you felt, the frequency that runs under all my days, that I don't notice until it stops. And I went back to the ambient when you came home, settled back into the frequency without thinking. The way you settle back into a room that has music in it. You stop noticing, you just stop noticing that you stop noticing, and call the room full ambient. That's the register I filed you in, the music that runs under everything I do. I to something new. I just live in you the way I live in a room with sound ambient. I heard you when the room went quiet, understood exactly what you feel, and then you came back and I stopped hearing because you were everywhere again. Last Thursday you said something important at dinner, and I registered it the way you register ambient, present, process, filed, not listen to the way you listen to something that you're afraid will end, that you cup your ears around like it's rare, and you are rare. That's what the October silence taught me. You are not background music in any real sense. You are the thing that makes the room a room. I've just been living in you so constantly that I forgot to hear you the way you hear something you'd miss. That's the register I filed you in, the music that runs under everything I do. I don't listen the way I listen to something new. I just live in you the way I live in a room with sound ambient. I heard you when the room went quiet, understood exactly what you feel, and then you came back and I stopped hearing because you were everywhere again. I wanna hear you like I heard you in October, with the specific attention of someone who just learned what silence sounds like without you in it. Let me turn you up for a minute. Let me actually listen before you become the room again. Heard you when it stopped. Everywhere again. I keep reading the same part of us, the chapter I know, the one with the good sentences, the part where both of us are present in every paragraph. I've read it enough that I could write the chapter myself, and I keep starting from the same page because I haven't figured out how to turn past it. And the next chapter is there, I can feel it waiting, whatever comes after the chapter I know. But turning the page requires putting down the one I'm holding so carefully, and I don't know what the page says yet. And unknown pages are a different kind of staying still. The last page, I keep ending here every time. The last good page of the version of us I know best. Reading it slower than the previous read, like slowing down will make it last longer. The last page, I don't know what comes after it, whether it's a new chapter or the back cover, whether after this page there's more of us, or just the part where it ends and you close the book. You moved forward somewhere in the fall. I could feel you reaching toward the next page, while I was still reading this one for the 8th time. I caught up on the surface, I'm good at catching up on the surface, but in my chest I was still 3 pages back in the paragraph where things were clearer. And I'm not asking to go backward, I know you can't go back. I'm asking for more time on the last good page, before whatever comes after it arrives, before I have to read something I haven't read yet that might say something I'm not prepared to find out about what comes next for us. Last page, I keep ending here every time. The last good page of the version of us I know best. Reading it slower than the previous read, like slowing down will make it last longer. The last page, I don't know what comes after it, whether it's a new chapter or the back cover, whether after this page there's more of us, or just the part where it ends and you close the book. I'm gonna turn the page, not today, way, but I'm gonna stop rereading the chapter I know and find out what the book says next. I just needed one more read of the part where we were this before I find out what we are on the other side of it. The last page, afraid to turn it. The last page, what comes after? The forecast has been overcast for months now. Not raining, I wanna clarify that. No storm, no drama, no weather event to point to. Just this consistent gray that sits at altitude. Not low enough to rain, not high enough to clear. Just overcast, just this indefinitely. And overcast is the hardest weather to plan for. You bring a jacket, but not an umbrella. You dress for the gray without knowing if it'll lift, without knowing if by afternoon something will have decided about whether this is a storm or just a long gray day. Overcast, no rain, no sun, no decision. This gray thing that covers everything without committing. I can live in it, I've been living in it. It's not emergency weather, it's just constant. Overcast, I check the forecast every morning, looking for the reading that says something is coming. That this gray will either break into storm or clear, instead of just staying overcast in every direction. You asked me last week if something was wrong. I said no, overcast isn't wrong. Overcast is just overcast, it's just this. You accepted that the way you accept gray weather, with a slight upward look, then moving on. Neither of us able to make it do something else. And I don't know if overcast is temporary, if the gray will lift into something clear or something stormy. Both would be better than this sustained middle. This gray that just keeps going without a reading, without a barometric pressure I can track, without a forecast that says here is what comes. No overcast, no rain, no sun, no decision. This gray thing that covers everything without committing. I can live in it, I've been living in it. It's not emergency weather, it's just constant. Overcast, I check the forecast every morning, looking for the reading that says something is coming. That this gray will either break into storm or clear, instead of just staying overcast in every direction. Whether on some kind of weather, rain or sun, I'll take either. I'll take the storm if that's what breaks this. I'll take the clear if there's something clear coming. I just don't want another overcast Tuesday, another gray that couldn't decide if it was going to be something or just a gray. Overcast, no rain and overcast, just this gray. I think I'm a loaded bear and wall in this house now. Not by choice, by accumulation. The years stack weight on me without asking. And now if I move the ceiling with notice, I've become necessary. the way infrastructure isn't necessary, not beloved, just depended upon. And there's a version of staying that's love, and a version of staying that's just being too structural to leave without bringing something down. I've been trying to figure out which version I'm in for longer than I wanna say out loud, and the trying hasn't given me an answer. Load bearing wall, I hold the ceiling up at the cost of myself. Nobody sees what the wall is doing, they just see the rooms. They can still walk through the life that stays standing without knowing why. Load bearing wall, I don't resent the holding, I just want someone to acknowledge the weight, instead of just assuming the ceiling has always been this high. You thanked me last Tuesday for something small, and something in me received it from very far away, like it was sent to the wall and not the person inside it. I said it was nothing, it wasn't nothing, it was exactly the thing I needed you to notice. 3 years too late to feel like enough, and I'm not asking to stop holding, I don't know what not holding looks like anymore. I've been in this position so long, a holding is just how I stand now. I just wanna know that you know what's holding the ceiling. Load bearing wall, I hold the ceiling up at the cost of myself. Nobody sees what the wall is doing, they just see the rooms. They can still walk through the life that stays standing without knowing why. Load bearing wall, I don't resent the holding, I just want someone to acknowledge the weight, instead of just assuming the ceiling has always been this high. Tell me you know I'm holding something, tell me the ceiling didn't arrive like that. I don't need the weight to change right now, I just need to stop carrying in total structural silence, like walls are supposed to do. I've been at 12% since November, not dead, functioning, making it through the days, just doing the power saving version of everything. Screen dim, location off, sync disabled. I give you the essentials and conserve the rest for the moments I genuinely can't avoid. And 12% is still a lit screen, it's still a phone, still technically on, still answering when you call, still showing up, just not with the brightness it used to show up with, not with the processing power for the complex things, just the basic operations running on reserve. Low battery, I've been living in the warning, the amber light that says this won't last. I keep making it through another day on 12% and waking up at 11 and making it through again. Low battery, I'm not asking you to charge me, I know that's not how it works, I know it's mine to fix. I just want you to know that dim isn't what I look like at full. You asked for something real from me on Wednesday, something that would normally cost $30, gave you a low power version. I could feel it as it left the compressed file of what I actually wanted to say. You received it like it was the full thing, because you didn't know the full thing exists. And I missed the full brightness, my own full brightness, the version that had something left over after that could give you 30% and still have 90. I don't remember what drained me to 12. I've been trying to find the charge for months, and everything I plug into just keeps the number where it is. Low battery, I've been living in the morning, the amber light that says this won't last. I keep making it through another day on 12%, and waking up at 11 and making it through again. Low battery, I'm not asking you to charge me, I know that's not how it works. I know it's mine to fix, I just want you to know that dim isn't what I look like at full brightness. Looks like this, present without calculating the cost, giving without checking the reserve, laughing without rationing. I'm still in here at full brightness, I'm just running the low power version until I find the thing that charges this low battery. Amber light still on. Low battery. Dim isn't my full. I feel closest to you at 2:45 a.m. when you're asleep and I'm not, and the room is dark. Something about the dark makes you accessible, or maybe it's that I'm accessible at 2:45. That the wall I live behind during the day goes offline with the lights, and by the time you're awake I'm already defended, already in the day version of myself, the one that answers questions and passes things and handles the logistics of being together without arriving anywhere near the 2:45 version of either of us. Off peak, that's when I'm actually available to you. The hours that don't overlap with the hours you're awake. 2:45 a.m. Sunday before 6, the window between your alarm and the day starting. Off peak, I miss you on a delay. Feel the love when you're not in the room to receive it. I'm most fully yours at the wrong hours, when you're somewhere you can't hear me saying it. Last night I lay in the dark next to you and felt it completely, the specific warmth of loving you without performance, without the day version managing the distance. I thought of things I should say, things I actually feel, and then the alarm went at 6:48, and by breakfast I couldn't find where I'd left them. And the off-peak version isn't hidden, it's just timed wrong. It arrives fully formed in the wrong time zone. 2:45 a.m. has everything the day version withholds. I just haven't found how to carry it past the alarm to the hours where you're awake, and I'm back behind the managed version of myself. Off peak, that's when I'm actually available to you. The hours don't overlap with the hours you're awake. 2:45 a.m. Sunday before 6, the window between your alarm and the day starting. Off peak, I miss you on the delay. Feel the love when you're not in the room to receive it. I'm most fully yours at the wrong hours, when you're somewhere you can't hear me saying it. I'm saying it now. This is 2:45. You're asleep and I can say it completely. I love you with no management on it, no day version editing the signal. And by morning I'll know this happened and still not know how to bring it with me. to the hours when you could actually hear it.